years, maybe, something like that. He was one of the principal people. Who here is from the original fourth implemented FIG group? John Cassidy. Okay, so you guys knew Dave as well. Oh, I didn't recognize you. You got older. What? How'd you get older? I lost a beard. Anyway, the sad part is Dave Bolton isn't getting any older. He died here a few weeks ago under very trying circumstances. Dave was one of the intellectual lights of Fourth. He was one of the people that you just couldn't snow. He would not suffer any fools. He was an extremely bright and wonderful friend that I had for so many years. He had a massive stroke. He spent the last 6 months of his life, 8 months bed, right? 10 months of his life in a bed in Kaiser Hospital with about half of his intellectual capacity gone. He was able to recognize some people. He was able to have conversations, and 10 months in a bed will get to you. Eventually he died. And so I wanted to invite his cousin Bet, who's in the back of the room here, and just to talk a little bit about Dave's life, because most of us here, I think, knew him. Who did not know Dave Bolton? Okay, a few people. So I think you'll agree that Dave was just an incredible guy. We've got some handouts that we had that Bet made up for the memorial service we had a couple of weeks ago, but we thought that was on a Friday, and a lot of people couldn't make it. So we thought we would just do a little bit of the same kind of thing. She's got a book to sign for memories, and I'm getting choked up already because it was sad to do that. So anyway, that's it. It's about Dave for the next couple of minutes. And this is Dave's cousin, Bet.
I wonder what I'm doing in a program. I actually have a PhD in computer science. Kind of runs in the family. I was considered the whole family.
He was Mr. Smart Person.
He was. And boy, talk about suffering. Not suffering fools. If you came up with some stupid remark, he was sure to let you know. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I've been looking after Dave. Well, actually, when Dave was born, I'm 10 years older than Dave, so we sort of grew up a little bit together, growing up in the Bay Area. It was like my little brother. And then I moved back to Canada for a number of years and then came back in 2000, and of course reconnecting at that point. But in the last 3 years of his life, he's gone through, he had an ependymoma, which he figured was caused by unshielded cell phones. So sort of looking after his health over the last 3 years with my husband Francois, who's sitting in the back of the room. And just being able to, be closer to Dave over those number of years, extrapolating his brilliance has just been a fabulous part of my life. It just, being related to him is just great, because you just understand his achievements, his excitement about what he loved to do. And you could ask him any question. I always told my daughters, if you want to know anything, ask Uncle Dave. He was sure to have read about it, done something about it. He had some knowledge on the subject, so it didn't matter what he did. He always did the research. He always knew the underlying reasons for things being done. And today I just came here because, as John mentioned, we had the service for him. It was on a Friday, so unfortunately a lot of people couldn't go there. You were there. Yes. Yes. John was there too. Yes, for sure. It was a beautiful service. So I brought the guest book with me. It's in the back of the room, and I've passed out some of the pamphlets that we had there just in memorial for Dave. And I know he's not here with us, but just having a lot of his friends and acquaintances sign that book is important for the family. So I just thought I'd let you know. And that's about it. I left my card in the back too, if anybody, wants to talk about him or, has some insights for me. That would be absolutely great. Dave was also a very private person. At the same time, he was very boisterous about what he was doing. And he, having to look after all the other aspects of it when he was into the hospital, I didn't know he did that. Or, you've got what? So he'd be telling me things over the last little while, and he would phase in and out of being able to comprehend what he was doing within the last. He didn't want anybody to see him. We were not allowed to tell anybody except his closest friends, were John, Glenn, and Dana at that point. But towards the end of his life, he is in Skylon, by the way. If anybody's interested, he was cremated, and there's, as you drive into Skylon and you turn to the left, there's a big structure there. He's in that wall. So he's overlooking the whole of Redwood City, actually, the Bay Area.
Yep, and his mom too.
And his mom, too, is right across from him. Unfortunately, we lost his mom in April, and we lost Dave in October. And my part of the family, I also lost my father, the following October. So we've lost 3 during the year. But Dave...
I knew his mom too, and that was a blow to me as well.
Yeah, exactly. But Dave's the biggest loss, 52 years old. Is way too young, a lot of health issues, and just my thing to you is look after your health first. Go get that blood test. Go get those tests. See what you can do for yourself.
That flu shot.
Got a flu shot. That's a good start. Anyways, the guest book is at the back, and
Right there.
right by the box here. And I put a pen with it. I would just love everybody.
And on a
to sign
larger
that book.
sense, how many of a fourth, I wouldn't call myself a real pioneer, okay, but I was early. How many of we lost John James, right? Huh? John James, right? Don Colburn is gone. How many others? Mike LaManna. And then there was another one, gosh, he used to come over to the meetings over in Hayward all the time. So we've lost 4 or 5 of our early pioneers too. So John James was instrumental back in the, I don't know exactly. Bob Browning? Does any? Bob Reiling. Yeah, okay. Dr. Glenn Hayden is, I wish he was here today. But, I mean, he's still around and he's still ornery as ever, but he's getting along. So we're going to listen.
One thing I noticed that when Dave was in the Big Four, he is barely 20 years.
Yeah, he was young. But there was some extremely clever stuff done with that in those days, and I mean, I don't know whether, how many people were, John? How many people were in that implement that you had going? 4 or 5, yeah. And then, of course,
creating things. And actually, John was sort of had the idea of creating games.
yeah, right. But do you know when he died?
No.
I don't know. But, so, yeah.
Sorry,
Did you?
John James posted to his blog at 12:12 a.m. So unless he's died since then.
Is it?
It's aidsnews.blogspot.com.
Holy mackerel! So I heard that he died.
Yeah.
So you see how it gets around, but he's got a blog, huh? Great.
He's doing it
He's
beyond
been
the grave.
publishing
From the Brave?
his news as a paper document and on the
He's
web.
publishing from the other side now.
No, he's an AIDS activist, right? Yeah, okay. John,
I'm waiting for Dave's blog now to come from the other side too.
yes,
Okay?
I'm hoping.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, thanks so much for this little memorial thing and the books in the back. And
We really appreciate
if you knew Dave, a signature and a comment would be really nice to have.
Exactly.
Okay, that's it. Kevin?
Does anyone else care to get up and say a few words about
I mean,
Dave? 12:30. Okay. So we're going to meander down there. I recommend look up when you're in the elevator. Be sure to be back here promptly because we're going to start whether you're here or not.